This is the journey to One Africa. So, how do you envision the future of Ethiopia from this moment forward?
I envision it really again by starting by being true to ourselves. By not being true to ourselves is the reason why we are in mess that we are in today. I could only envision a better Ethiopia starting with being genuine. There's something we call an Amharic kaninat, genuine. I envision Ethiopia by just drawing that idea of honesty. Is lack of honesty, playing game, deception, dishonesty that really make us to be where we are. That is what caused us. The Ethiopia I envision has to be dropped down and putting down that whatever we have to be true to ourselves. What kind of Ethiopia do I want? What kind of Ethiopia do everybody want? And sitting down, talking about that, crafting that Ethiopia. It doesn't require a rocket science. Other country has done it. Your country is a good example. Nyerere did that.
Yeah.
The country that he envisioned is, now we die. You will not see your country, being worried about ethnics issue becoming a problem that will tear a country apart.
That's true.
Because the leader of your country thought of it and put it that. But for Ethiopia, what I envision is an Ethiopian being true to themselves, coming to tables, and drafting a system that put all Ethiopian equal, no one, no more. So that is the Ethiopia that I envision. Not an Ethiopian where some tribe think they are better, or some tribe because they're a bigger number, they have like the thing here in Ethiopia, we have these things like, my tribe to turn, our turn, the politics of turning. The country is not a water well where you go taking your jerrycan waiting to fill the water. No, the country is for everybody else. The country for all citizens, not for few. So the Ethiopia I envision in Ethiopia that value the life of every Ethiopian as they value their own life. Ethiopia where every citizen take responsibility. Responsibility to help their fellow country men and women. A responsibility to make the country thrive. A responsibility to protect each other, to guard each other, nurture each other, and then protect the Ethiopian national interest. I envision that kind of country, but that country has to come to the beginning of valuing human being, putting humanity before ethnicity, caring about the well-being of Ethiopian, not just because they think it's the right thing to do, it is really a godly thing to do.
Yeah.
And then making sure that, then we can build on that to create an Ethiopia, not a beggar Ethiopia, a better Ethiopia, where we give a good education to all our children. We give our farmers to farm. We treat our women like we treat our mothers and wives. We don't send our children abroad because I am in a political post or someone have money, but we give the quality of education in our countries. We provide a good health care that we care for the life of every Ethiopian, not because of our trouble. We give those who don't have a clean water to get the waters. Those who don't have a road can get connected to the road. Those who are living in the dark would get the light. Ethiopians who don't have anything because of their disability should not make them be left in dark. Ethiopia that care for the citizen, whether they have something or nothing. That is the country that, I'm hoping and living and wishing for. But that cannot be brought by a tribal leaders. Cannot be brought by a pretending politic. Cannot be brought by these fake politicians. So that is the kind of country that I envision. The country is not a poor country, it's a very rich country. We have plenty of natural resources. We did not even have the time to utilize what we have. So I dream of that country, and I also have a hope there are Ethiopians in the country, outside the country, who can come and answer their calling, who can say that, you know what, it doesn't have to be this way. And that's what I mean. My hope is not on the politician. My hope is not on the grown-up people. My hope is in the youth. The youth can come up and create the kind of Ethiopia that is good for them and good for their children. And you know, I travel throughout this country. Majority of our people are young people.
Yeah.
Who would be getting married tomorrow, have a husband, have a wife, have children. These young people don't have a job lined up for them. They don't have an opportunity. So my dream of Ethiopia, where we will have a leader that can think beyond themselves, beyond their tribe, beyond their family, but a leader that think for every Ethiopian. That's the kind of country that I dream of.
What do you think is the role of Africa country right now to what's going on in Ethiopia? If you have anything that you want to address to other African nations, because here in One Africa movement, we are talking about One Africa. We believe in a unity. We believe that without unity, there's no future for Africa. And issues that Ethiopia is going through, there are a lot of African countries as well. They're going through those issues internally, right? And even the fight that is happening in Ethiopia and US, this tension that is going on, we believe that there's a lot of countries in Africa. You can go to Burkina Faso, you can go to Niger, they're going with friends. You can go to Congo, they're going through that even right now. I've seen some videos today, disturbing videos today, what's going on there. So what do you think is the role of other African countries to what is going on there?
There's a big role of other Africans, but we are not doing anything. The number one thing before they know their role, they have to be aware of what's going on. Are we really aware of what's going on? Other Africans. The other African, are they aware of what's happening in Ethiopia? I don't think so. I think that's one of the problems. But once they know that, this is the one thing that, the Ethiopian king, 57 years ago, Haile Selassie, when they were at the League Nation and Ethiopia was pushed aside, he gave a warning to Western countries. And he said they stand with Ethiopia. Everybody is not today. Is it to us? Today is us. But tomorrow will be you.
Yeah.
That was before the Second World War. Leading to that war. Had they listened to Haile Selassie, 30 million Russians would have not died. Nagasaki, Hiroshima would have not. Pearl Harbor, American soldier would have not been killed. My point is, the most of Africans don't know what's going on. It may be today in Ethiopia. But what I was really worried and concerned about was not the war with Ethiopia alone in Eritrea, with the Tigray region in Ethiopia. There were some group who are working and trying to push that so that Ethiopia can become like Libya.
Yeah.
Ethiopia can become like Syria. And then when we say to Ethiopia, no, not under our watch, we will not tolerate that. There are some countries that who are trying to push African so African can kill each other. They will take and get the resource. They have something we call in Amharic, labor, a thief, when there's chaos, it's the opportunity for a thief. So there are these people who want to create Grigri in Africa, making every problem in Africa that, so the resource of the world now is becoming so scarce that where is left is Africa. The most, land that not been used to, is in Africa. The population human being is going to go to 9 billion in the next few years. Where are they going to get the food, the resource that they have? So a place like Ethiopia, if they are fighting each other, then they will not think about how to build a country. They will not think about a resource, and then other people can come and take it. So do other Africans know that the Ethiopian interest is your Ethiopian cause is your cause? The role then the African need to do is to really stand together, to work together, be vigilant and say it's wrong. The problem of Ethiopia can be solved by Ethiopian. You don't need some Western people coming to say that they care about the human right. Come on. How many human rights has been committed in this thing? Iraq was a better before Saddam died. Iraq was a better country before. How many people died in Iraq? When Gaddafi was there, Libya was actually even have some better health care for poor people than those who are living in America. Iraqi citizen, Libyan citizen who are getting married, they will even get a honeymoon. Children who are dying get the opportunity. Today, you cannot even compare the Libya of this that Obama has created, the Libya that Gaddafi has. The African need to know that. That's why the issues of Ethiopia should not be taken lightly. That's why Ethiopians should need to take the issues of Congo seriously. Other Africans. These people is not a heart of love, a heart of greed that they want something from us. So the role of other Africans is not enough, but their role is, you, a young man, I'm very proud of you. You are a role. That's what it is. We need to multiply, people like you to talk about this. So the role of African has to be laid out and being organized. Organization, organize. African Union is not good enough to speak for Africans. Yeah. It's controlled by this group. It's a political or institution. It's controlled by China, controlled by West. They don't have a voice. They are not free. But the younger African has to create a stronger institution of Africa. This is the thing that, imagine, our money is worth nothing. If I come to Dar es Salaam tomorrow and I bring my birr is nothing in there. But my American dollar will be taking over my birr.
Yes.
You bring your shilling to Addis Ababa, your shilling is nothing but American dollars. Your neighbor money is supposed to be much more. European Union, Europe, who used to kill each other. The two wars that took place in the world was not in Africa. It was in Europe. They use the same money right now. They create the same money, euro. I can go to Dar es Salaam tomorrow and my euro will be taking over my bill. Bring my shilling here, the euro will be taking. So the African need to start thinking. We can unify the continent. Even if we fail to organize the whole bigger, you can make it East Africa as one area, West, North, South, can be done that way, or Central Africa. But if you can create the idea of United Africa, United States of Africa, you will have so many enemies. Because those people don't want a strong Africa, an educated Africa, a conscious Africa, an humble African, a genuine African. But it's doable. If the European who used to kill each other, they create wars. The First World War, the Second World War was not fought in Europe. It was not fought in Africa, in the Middle East, in Asia. It was in Europe, and they call it a World War, but a European war for that matter. If those guys who used to kill each other can put their difference aside and create a one currency, you can go from corner to corner with a checkpoint. Why can Africa not do it? The reason why Africa cannot do it because we don't have a visionary leader. Above all, we have a tribal leaders, not a citizen leaders, not African people leaders. We have African tribe leaders.
That's a good point.
So the role for African to play the role, you have to have a leadership. You have to be organized. You have to have institution. You have to plan things. And we don't have that. And let the conversation, let the discussion start and begin. And that's what I mean that with the younger men like you, all we need to do is, my friend, you connected with a younger man like you, with another younger man in Addis Ababa, in Nairobi, in Kampala, in every place. The next thing you know is Mangaru Charkanu. The road will be just clear. So the role of African is very crucial, but it requires organization.
Yes. Appreciate. Thank you for that beautiful answer. So I'm just going to jump right into the questions that I have too. What can you tell or advise the Prime Minister to do or change in Ethiopia post the war?
Well, I think I already said that.
You say that, right?
What you need to do is just change the constitution of the country, unify the people of the countries, reconcile the peoples.
Yeah,
I think constitution is a key. Without changing that constitution, Ethiopia will never have peace. We will not be free. We will not really move anywhere. Changing the constitution of the country, then making people reconcile the problem that's taking place in the country, and then move the country forward.
Right. Another question is right here from Dr. Sadeke. It says, do you see hope in the Commission for National Dialogue draft under review by the House of Representatives? Could it be an opportunity to reform our constitution? How do you heal the social fabric?
The thing is, one thing I'm very reluctant to that. I don't see things that are coming from the House of Representatives as to be free and fair, because that is a government idea, control or dominate in a way. If it is about the healing, the social fabric of a country, it has to be a reconciliation that not really been dropped by the government. When I become proud, I create the Peace and Reconciliation Commission. Where is that? So many people have died in the last 4 years. What would that commission do? I created what they call, in Maninated Dimber Committee. A tribal board, marking the border thing, which even they were wanting me, and I didn't want to be part of it. So what have they done? So in other words, it's not just created these things, it's doing it. But it has to be independent. The dialogue should not be something controlled by the House of Representatives or by the government or by the Prime Minister. It has to be independent. Independent of a government, independent of a prime minister, independent of a politician. It has to be an independent body that will deal with this. The government can give the fund to support it, but it should not be. So national, dialogue, drafting and review by the House of Representative, that is really is. If the House of Representatives want to do a better, good thing, is their job. Change the constitution, man. That's your job. You are born to do it. Change it. Don't go around the bush and thinking that, thing. And then what I see, the politician trying to talk about, well, we need to, include more language to be spoken. We need to do. No, change the constitution. This is what is killing us. You cannot go around cherry picking what the problem is. To me, the reconciliation healing process should come from independent body, not hand-picked individual by the Prime Minister or by the House of Representatives. The work of House of Representatives to change the law. And the law you have to change is the law of the land, is the law of a tribal politics that is killing us, has to be changed, because that become a passport to justify killing our neighbor, evicting them, destroying them. So the House of Representatives, their job is to change the law, and the law is changing the constitution of the country, reforming the institution of the country. That is what I think that they can do.
I think they continued to that question. Do you think after that happens, the mentality of Ethiopians will change as well, of the people will change, or that will be another step?
Oh, definitely will be another step. It's not easy. And I talked about this in talking to some. It's not change because we have a generations who are intoxicated, drunk with the tribal thinking and tribal politics. It's not going to be easy. But they had to change, especially change the education system, making teaching about humanity, unity, equality as part of a curriculum. From elementary school, from grade 1, teaching the kid that when you go to the classroom, the kid sitting next to you may be different, may speak a different language, may be darker than you, may be lighter than you, may be farther than you, may be skinnier than you, but he is a precious human being. And above that is your brother and sister, is an Ethiopian. You are that child keepers, protectors. To making sure that the teachers teach kids in the schools. You may be somebody else's children, but you are the future of us, leaders. To teach the kids from elementary to the university, making part of curriculum. One generation after that, it will definitely change that. The mentality is not something will change easy, but it requires that kind of thing. And not only school, the churches, the mosque, all where there's people gathering, these should be made. It was done in Rwanda. In Rwanda today, when you ask Rwandese, actually they will say they are more in Rwanda than, they don't know. They will not want to answer that if you say, what is your tribe?
Yeah.
Ethiopians can do that. But again, it doesn't have to be based on pretending. Pretending Ethiopia winnet, pretending underneath, pretending equality, like pretending unity, Ethiopianness. It doesn't work. It will not work. So, the psyche and changing the thinking of the people is not easy. It will take time, but it requires a grassroots movement to say that we are infected, we are sick, we are drunk, we are contaminated. We have to cleansing our mind and our soul from the tribal politics, because it's not good. It will destroy you. It will eat you from within. And then, making us yield the past, we can yield the past wound and saying that, from now on, we can be better than this. Other country has done it. Ethiopia can do it. So I think there should be a part of that next after that.
Yeah. Definitely. There's another good question. Guys, I want to appreciate for the super chat as well. Thank you so much for your giving. Ephraim Lakeo says, Dear Obang, I think this is a suggestion. Why don't you produce an article or a book of a real picture of Ethiopia situation via time to help for citizens understand issues?
Thank you. I'm almost done. I'm writing a book. I'm almost done. So, there will be pretty sure that we'll be, finishing a book, hopefully, these coming years soon. And then that book will be able to answer some of those questions. Why I do what I do. And, my journey from there to here, and why Ethiopia, what I think would be the way to get Ethiopia out of it. It's a definite premise. It's a wonderful thing. It is about time, yes, for sure that, then I'm sure you will be able to see the journey, why I'm doing what I'm doing.
This is amazing. I hope I'll have an opportunity to have you here back again to talk about your book a little bit. I'm booking you right now before the book is out, please. There's another question here. Say, my question to Mr. Obang, how are we going to be able to live side by side after those atrocities? Their deeds is deep to the bone.
We don't have a choice. We have to find a way to live side by side. There's no any other way. A family is a family. Family can do a horrible thing to each other, but he is your family. There's no way we cannot live together. Even if we try to create a little small tiny countries, we will not be bordering other countries. We'll be bordering whoever we run away from. We have no choice. This is the only choice. But we have to be strong to accept that. That's where our humanity comes. We have to be a true, genuine human beings, knowing that the horrible thing that has been done to each other, we have to say that, you know what, no more to myself. I am better than those guys who have done it. I can stand together with this. It is not us who, it's not me, but I can make sure that this doesn't happen again. We have no choice. We have to live side by side. God make us to be created in this country. We are already there. A family member some of them can become a brutals. Some of them are a criminal. Some of them can rape a family member. Some of them can steal, but they're still your family member. We have to know that these are some of the most horrible brothers and sisters who have done this thing. I know it in Gambela. My family members, my uncles who are very close to me, they were killed like animals and they were buried in mass grave. Until today, I don't know where he was being buried. I don't hold a grudge anymore. I wanted to say that the death of my uncles should make me be a messenger to making sure that another person will not lose his uncles. I cannot bring my uncle back, but I can save somebody else's uncles. We can save another atrocity by living side by side. By not living side by side, we will be creating another atrocities. What we have done to each other, even in the last 1 year alone, look at the destruction in Kombolcha, in Dasi, in Wallo area, in Afar, even in some place where they were riding with the human blood. That's horrible, un-Ethiopian, unhuman. But we cannot blame that to a foreigner. It is us. It is me. The guy who's done horrible thing to that by being an Ethiopian, it is me. All the other ugly thing that he has done. Maybe he had done and cut somebody else's stomach and did a horrible thing. It's me. But being an Ethiopian, that's it. I take the ugly and the good of these countries. My question, how can I play a role that this doesn't happen again? Living side by side is not a choice. But how can we live side by side in a better way? We have to accept the giving things. We kill each other with Eritreans. We say, oh, let them secede. We don't need them and let them be. Today, Eritreans are coming to Ethiopia and they are more Ethiopian than Ethiopian who live here. What did these people die for? Did somebody has to die? No. Someone has lost his mother, his father, his brothers, and someone that he loved because of the stupid thinking of an Ethiopian who was a leader who was in charge at that time. It's not you. What made me not live side by side my fellow brothers, Tigrayan sisters? The one who killed my uncle was a TPLF, not a Tigrayan. What made me stop working, living together side by side with my fellow Tigrayan brother and sister? That's why I have to say earlier, I say no more to myself. I have to have clean mind, pure heart, and humble and say that, okay, I will be better than those guys. And by that, it will make us live side by side. Living by side is not a choice. We don't have any other choice. The question is, how can we make it? How can we create it? And that's why talking to each other, not about each other, is the way. In our country, we have a Tigray sitting down talking about the rest of the Ethiopian. We have the Amara, Oromo sitting down talking about the Amara. We have Amara sitting down about the other. We have to talk to each other, not about each other. If you talk about me when I'm not there, you will say Obang is a thief, Obang is a liar, Obang is this, Obang is a killer. But if I'm there, I will say, no, I'm not what you said. Because talking to each other is totally different than talking about each other. We've been talking about each other for so long. As a result, and we are going in vicious cycles. We cannot bring back Ethiopian that we have killed. We cannot bring back the pain that we have inflicted. We have to be really humble. We have to have a leaders who can come out and say that I'm so sorry for what has been done. We don't need someone to come and say, I'm sorry for what was done to the Oromo in the name of the Oromo, or I say sorry for what was done to the name of the Amara. Just all you need is a leader of the country. I am so sorry for all the ugly thing was done by the Ethiopian people. I am elected as an Ethiopian leader. By default, that whole the ugly thing was done. It was, I'm so sorry for that. We need to have those kind of leaders. And say that, please, I beg you guys, let's move on. Let's move on to a better country, to a much more prosperous country, to a much more harmonized society. So in that case, it's not a choice we have anymore. We don't have a choice. The choice we have now to find a way to live together, to build a country and become, exemplary to other people. That is what we have. This is who we are. We have to be an example to show the world. This is who we are. A group that were one time, they have killed each other, destroy each other, and then they build it. Look at Rwanda, the cleanest city in Africa. Look at Rwanda. The place was not for the human skulls. Today, known for this clean. If the Rwandese can do it, we can do it. So that is what I mean. That's not a choice of saying that, how can we have to forgive. Not because of somebody else. I don't do it because of somebody. I do it for myself. To be a free man, to be a healthy man, I have to do it for myself, not for others. If we all can think like this, definitely living side by side will not be a question. But creating the best way to live side by side would be, the answer, what we'll be looking for.
Mr. Obang,
yes.
One thing that we try to do here all the time, I want to ask you this, if you're willing to. I'm sorry, God, I forgot today. We always begin with prayer and then we end up with prayer because, we do believe that this fight that we are going through, these things that we are going through, sometimes they're not just physically, but they're also spiritual. And one thing personally that I always do believe to put God in the center, regardless of the religions that people we have that are following us. We are trying to. It's one of the things that has been a huge tension, right, in some countries in Africa. Right, and you guys in Ethiopia, you managed to live together with different religion. This is one brighter side that I see that a lot of African countries are suffering. But what I'm trying to say is, with all this conversation we had, all these questions that we had, I would like to raise a word of prayer as we finish this. If you are open to that,
I am.
To pray for Ethiopia, to pray for everything that we've spoken about here. You share about your wish for the government, for the people, all these things. I know that when we put God at the center, these things are possible. We need determination, we need all those things, but also we need a supernatural power that will help us to reconcile with one another, to be able to reach the point to forgive one another, and also to heal the wounds that we have for so long and that we are holding on to. So I'm really glad that you're open to do that.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
It is beautiful. You want to do it, or you want me to do it, or you want us to do it?
If you want, I can do it. It's up to you. If you want to do it, and if you want me, I can do it.
Please, Mr. Obang, you go ahead. The podium is yours.
Okay, yeah. So for sure, as and I'm a Christian, and
Yes.
I believe, in God. There's a creator. There's a creator that created this universe, that created us for purpose. And as you say that, I really like when you say that, put it in the centers. And what we do, there's many things that which is beyond ourselves. But even with us, why are we created? Why are we created at such a time as this? I could have been created 2,000 years ago or 2,000 years from now. That's, this is only a creator. So I do believe, in the God who created us. He has a power, and definitely that, reaching out and talking, praying to God is a good thing. So if you want me to say, if you would, then praying for, for this country and for the whole of us, I can do it.
Yes.
You ready?
Take your time. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. For everybody that who are, listening, even to those people who are not follower of Jesus Christ or Christians, please, pray to whatever that God that you believe in. There's only one creator, not many. Sometimes the human being, we created that we have, different creators, but only one creator that created all of us. So I did want to say that, dear Father, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, and especially for these young brothers to do this. And all of you guys who are here listening. We live in a world of so many plots, so many mistakes, so many followers, so many failures. Because human beings are not perfect. We are not perfect. There's evil within us. And trying to use every mean to control, to dominate, to do horrible things to each other. God created all of us equals. God doesn't take favors. God created a human first. We get the tribe after we come to these worlds of greed. So world of money, world of power, world of backwardness. But again, God has never gave up on us. So to fellow Ethiopian brothers and sisters, we are at a crossroad. We are at the crossroads of our country, not because of the work of God that didn't do anything wrong with us. It is not God, it is us, our leaders, our peoples who have misguided us, lied to us, deceived us, pushing us to get to this. It is now us who can fix it. We create the mess, we can clean it. But we need God to be on our side. Dear fathers, we have done a horrible thing to each other. We have done it, but we can change it. Just help us to be a better people. Make us forgive. Make us think. Make us see the humanity of our neighbors. Make us see what we didn't see. We have done so many horrible things. But through your power, through of genuine and truth, we can change this. Ethiopia need healing. And Ethiopians themselves can do it, but you can guide them. The continent of Africa need healing. The humanity need healing.
Yes.
The humanity need each other today than ever before. The intelligence and the knowledge that we use, if we don't use it, the humanity can destroy themselves. The mind create a nuclear weapon that can wipe up the cities. The humanity, the biggest threat to humanity today is the short-sighted humanity. We are coming to you and help us and empower us guided us, show us the right way. We will do whatever we can, but we want you to guide us to go to the right direction. Not the selfishness way, not the greed way, not ego ways, not my way, but your way. We ask you this. And for all those who are suffering in these countries, in this continent, in these worlds, there's a better way. That there can be less suffering. There's a way to do it. And that way has never been done before, but it can be done. These worlds is full of so evil things, so horrible things, so many misguided things, so many short-sighted leaders. Reach out in the heart and the mind of those people. Help bring out some younger, vibrant, God-fearing, not self-love, humanity-love leaders from every corner of these worlds, and make them work together. And then let them do the volunteers. I want to hand it to these dear fathers. You did all this universe work for free. Most of us may not know that. You create an oxygen that we breathe every day free of charge. And when some of us get sick with corona, you go out with a bill of $2 million. An artificial oxygen. You make us live in a light we don't pay it. We drink the water that we don't pay it. We live everything you did in these worlds. The rain, the soil that we feed ourselves with. All of these things is a volunteer. Some of us live in this world without not knowing. They are the product, they are the result of volunteering. Like our mothers who carry us 9 months, raise up us until we grow. It's a volunteer. God work is a volunteer works. And if we can learn from you and volunteer, this world could be a better place than this. Remind some of those people who are blinded, those short-sighted people who don't know their purpose. Reach out to them, call them, let them know that life is too short. It is only when you are alive that you are a purpose. When you are alive that you can be useful. The minute you die, you are just a dust, like a rocks. Senseless, emotionless, nothing. So just reach out to those who are lost and confused. Empower them. Dear Father, thank you for all the work that you have done. I never lost hope in Ethiopia because I know there are good Ethiopians out there. You can bring them up forward to keep Ethiopian the kind of government they deserve, the kind of system they deserve, the kind of society they want to live. I know there's some people there in Africa, in these worlds. Reach out and bring those in the name of your Son. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Wow. Wow. 2 hours and 30 minutes of university. This has been very productive session, Mr. Obang. I've learned a lot. One thing that I can say, I can go through these comments and read again and again. I didn't see even a single comment that is saying negative about you, Mr. Obang. I don't know how you manage to do that, but it shows me something really huge. And I really want to grow up, become someone like you, who will love his country, his continent, and, you know, serve humanity with everything I got. So thank you for being such a good example, for being a role model, for being someone that people can look at and have hope for Ethiopia and Africa, because you are there and you represent that. Thank you so much for everything you do and for your voice. And here in One Africa, we'll keep praying for you and we'll keep having you here. Please don't get tired of us. Yeah, it's such a huge privilege, and I cannot wait to come and to see you, to meet you, and to have more conversation about Africa. I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I thank you, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you, brothers, for inviting me, and also that for my brothers from the Ethiopian that who really made this possible and wanted me to invite me. I want to say thank you to you. You also that inspiration to me and to so many Ethiopians. So many Ethiopians love you, and so many of us. The good things, good things. Success can attract success. And as a doctor said, that Dr. King said, only the darkness cannot be pushed out from the darkness. It's a light. You're a light, brother. So you're really. I have really so much respect for you for being just a young person at this just age. The people like you give me hope that Africa's will rise from this. And thank you. And to all those brothers, the Ethiopian brothers and sisters on this line, I wanted to say that thank you to you guys. I love you guys, all of you, the Ethiopian and the other people. I'm a better human being because of you guys. I didn't do anything. But you taught me what it means to be a human being, especially Ethiopian. And you also taught me and encouraged me to say that we have much more greater thing about us. It was 424 Anuak who died. As a result of reaching out with love and respect, the Ethiopian I got in return, not 400, not 4,000. Not 4 million, many million of you guys, including this brother that is on with us today. So thank you to all of you. Love is within us, just we didn't look for it. It is within us. Care is within us. Humility is within us. Respect is within us. Just a simple thing within us. It doesn't take long. Just go and find it and give it. No one will reject love. If you walk on the street, you smile at somebody, no one will say that why they have to smile at me. It's just a simple. It's a priceless and it's free. Our country is in a mess because those people who did not find love, those who did not know what it means to love. Thank you to all of you who are here. One Africa. We are one family. God already created us to be one family. Just know that. The African saying, Ubuntu. I exist because of you.
Yes.
You exist because of me. Ubuntu is not a Western, it's African saying. I exist. And that is actually the most powerful thing you can think of. A human being is the only living things. Cannot survive without another human being. When we come out from the womb to this world, we are in another human being hand. When we die from this world, it's another human being who will put the last dust on us. It takes 18 years to raise a child to become independent. An animal can be born and will walk in a minute. It will take years for a human being to walk, to crawl, to walk, to become self-independent. That meaning that you depend on each other. That's Ubuntu. I exist because of you. You exist because of me. You don't need to help me because of my tribe. You don't have to help me because of my skin color. You just all have to help because I'm a human being that I cannot survive alone. We need each other, my fellow brother and sister. Ubuntu is the way of the right things. Mikey, I'm wanting to tell you, brothers, you've already done that. We need to continue to carry on this message to our peoples. It is hatred that holds us back. It is the hatred that makes us become a backward. And lack of education make foreigners to use us, to make us less. We can get out of this. So thank you You know, when you come to Ethiopia, I'm telling you that, you know, we'll try to organize even events if I could, and then, you know, let you come and address the Ethiopia, because we need to multiply you, my friend. You know, a younger person like that, there's many of them in Ethiopia here. We want to bring some younger people like you. Let this kind of discussion continue. Let it carry on. So I'm pretty sure that for sure, this is something I'm envisioning even in future. Let's have this kind of a tour. Can you imagine that, you know, we have, you know, come up with 10 countries in Africa or 20 countries. Many young, bright people like you know, men, you know, and all of these of different ages from all other Africa. You go and have a big events in Dar es Salaam, big events in Addis Ababa, in Nairobi, in Kampala. You go to this in Abuja. Can you imagine that? That itself is a revolution. You know, to liberate our thinkings, our consciousness, to say that we are people of value, of dignity, of education. I think that we can. You are up to something, young man. I'm telling you that, you know, you are up to something great, and you will get there. And all from my hand, if there's anything I can do, I will be there to be able to support you. I'll support you. And I told you that you are a leader, my brother. You are a leader. And that's what we are lacking. You know, what we lack in the continent was a bright, younger leader. You are a leader. And then, you know, keep the flame, you know, burning. And then, you know, we'll be able to do whatever we can to making sure that that flames, you know, will reach out to everything. In Ethiopian Easter, which is something I love, they go to the church, and then they turn the light. And then one person will light a candle. Everybody in the church have a candle. They turn the light off. Completely dark. One person, you know, light the fire and light the candle. The candle passed to the next person. It is just a ritual. And these Ethiopian things, by the time it's finished, the room become a light up, not because of the electricity, because of the candles. But it starts with one person. You may be that candles that will light the continent. Keep it burning, brother. Thank you.
I am humbled, truly humbled. Thank you so much. No one is free until we are all free. Humanity or ethnicity. I love that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night.
See you very soon. See you very soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I love it. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Oh, my Lord. That's why I don't call this interview. That's why I always call this conversation, because it'll be underrated if I call it interview. First of all, because I'm not a journalist. But second, because it's two people having a conversation. And One Africa, the tagline of One Africa is a conversation for a better Africa. A conversation for a better Africa. We want to see a better Africa. We want to see a better Ethiopia, a better Somalia, Tanzania, Kenya. And having this conversation with Mr. Obang today, I don't know what to say. I am very emotional right now, and I am very emotional because of this conversation. This is one of the, I think this is the first time. It's the first time for me to have a conversation with someone that you can clearly see that this person is genuine, and he just wants something good for humanity, something good for Ethiopia, something good for Africa. I can't lie, guys. This is my first time to have a conversation like this. It's the first time with a human being like this. It's the first time. You guys, you can go through all these comments. There are more than 2,000 comments here. More than 2,000 live comments. I think right now it's 3,000. I didn't see a single negative comment here about Mr. Obang. Africa, we have good people. Africa, we have good leaders. We have good people. We have good people. We have decent human beings. People who care for the lives of ordinary folk. People who care about their countries. That's what we need. We need a lot of Obang out there. Ethiopia. This is your own people. This is your own person. We need more Obang there. We need more people who think like this. We need more people who will stand with truth. We need more people who will stop taking sides and we just stand with people. We'll stand for people. We'll stand for the truth. And we'll say no more. No more. No more to what is happening within. We need people who love with everything they can. We need non-politician people. Non-politician people who will simply care about people. Who will just care about people, because so many people are dying, so many things are happening, and we need people who will stand for people, will be voice to the voiceless, like Mr. Obang. I didn't know that there's an amazing individual human being out there like Mr. Obang. These people are Mr. Obang. You can go to Kenya, you can see PLA Lumumba, Professor Lumumba. These are people, African, who they just love. Where are those people today, guys? I challenge you guys. 440 people who are here today. I challenge you guys. I truly challenge you guys. Let's be like this. Because I am challenged today. I am challenged. I am challenged. I'm so challenged today. And I want to challenge you guys. I want to challenge you guys. We can do this. Mr. Obang, he said it very well. We don't have another option. There's no other option. We don't have other option, guys, but to unite. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, Africa. We don't have other option, guys. We don't have other option. Please, if you still have some part of your heart, you still have heart in there, deep within you, just say enough is enough. And I love it because today's conversation, we didn't make it about US. We didn't make about this, and I didn't want to go towards that direction, because a lot of time if we always go towards that direction, we will ignore what's going on within. We will ignore what's going on in Africa. And what we talked today, we've spoken about what is going on in Ethiopia, but there's so many things going on within our countries that we don't talk about. And we have to say no more to that. We have to say no more to that. It's a time to shift, to say no more to that, what is going on inside. And enough is enough. And I love this what Mr. Obang, he said. He constantly said this: we killed each other. we're killing each other. He used we. He used we. He said it's very easy to point fingers and say that, oh, they're killing them, oh, they're there. But when you make it about you, because it's our people, and I'm saying the same thing, that we're killing each other. And we don't have to. Mr. Obang said he has a hope for Ethiopia. He has a hope for Africa. There's a hope for Africa. 322 people that are here. This is a hope. We can change Africa. 300? It's a lot of people. We can change Africa. Let's start changing how we think about one another. These 300 here, if all of us we're gonna leave here today, I'm telling you, if you leave here today and you still think about tribalism, then everything that happened here, it's nothing. These almost 3 hours, it was for nothing. I challenge you, 300 people here who are here right now, as we are living today, I want you to don't think about your tribe. That's what it got us where we are today. Think about one Africa. Think about united Ethiopia. Think about a united Tanzania, Kenya, your country. Think about that. And take responsibility. Take full responsibility to what is happening. Don't just say that, oh, they are killing, oh, they're the one I'm killing, oh, they're the one. Don't say that, because you are avoiding an issue. You're avoiding a problem. Take responsibility. Mr. Obang did that. He said here that his family were killed. And he said nothing will bring them back. His uncles. But they say he's fighting because he don't want to see any other person losing that family. And that's what I have been saying here all the time. We don't want to see another death. We don't want to see another member of the family dying. We don't want to see that. Today on Twitter, I posted a very emotional picture of a soldier who died and left a little kid. Left a little kid. So that little kid don't have a daddy. Because his daddy, he was a soldier, he was fighting right now on the ground, and he was killed. His life, that guy, he sacrificed his life for the rest of Ethiopia. But think about that little kid who now don't have a daddy. And he's going to grow up, no matter how much money he will have, no matter how many people that are going to support him, but he will not see his dad forever. This is what happens. These things, they're costing us. Division is costing Africa. Tribalism is costing Africa. And those people, they will never be back. They're gone. They're good people. They're amazing people. We can't keep shedding blood. We can't keep doing that. We have to stop. And we people, we have the power to stop that. You have the power to stop that. To just for once, not thinking about your tribe, just for once, and live like that. We can do it because we see how much it does. See that division. It's the poison, it's the cancer. It's a cancer. Those other nations, they're fighting with cancer. We're fighting with awful cancer. It's a cancer. It's more dangerous than COVID-19. It's more dangerous than HIV. It's more dangerous than malaria. It's more dangerous. It's a cancer. It's a cancer. Because we're losing really good people. And that kid is going to grow up knowing that my dad died fighting for the country. Yes, he'll be a proud kid, but he will never have a chance with his dad again. If you don't feel that, I don't know what you're going to feel. You have to say enough is enough. We have to come together. We have to love one another. We have to reconcile. We have to repent. We have to repent. And I want to share with you guys this word. You have to repent. You have to repent. And this is what I shared with you guys before, and I'm going to share with you guys today. We have to repent. There's no other way out. If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayer that is made in this place. For now I have chosen and consecrated this house that my name may be there forever. My eyes and my heart will be there for all time. Humble ourselves. The first thing we have to do. Pray. The second thing. Seek God's face. The third thing. The fourth thing, which is really important. Turn from their wicked ways. Then I will hear from heaven. I will heal. I will forgive their sins and heal their land. We want God to heal our land, heal our people. And wipe away the tears of our people. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine how much you guys are holding up the tears that are within you. Because some of you all have been crying every single day for years. You have been crying and crying and crying and crying for years. So I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine how much y'all, every single one of y'all. I think this interview today, it's taking us into the right direction. These are kind of conversations we need to have. I'm going to find an opportunity when I get to Ethiopia. I'm going to sit down with Mr. Obang and have a conversation about Africa as well. I challenge you guys.